Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we will be covering the first domain of CISSP, which is Security and Risk Management. The exam weightage for this domain is around 16%, which means about 16% of the questions which will appear in your exam will be from this domain. In terms of the domain coverage, this domain is diversified in nature that it encompasses people, process, and technology aspects of risk and security management. To begin with, we will be first looking at the professional ethics, where we will deep dive into the ISC Squad Code of Ethics and the Corporate Code of Ethics. We will then follow up with the most important concept in terms of CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, and the availability concept, followed by security governance principle, which deals with how you grant access within your organization or the business that you are running. We will then follow up with the legal and regulatory issues, where we will deal with different kind of laws, how to apply a particular law in a given context. This is also the skill that the CISSP certificate holder must possess. We will then look into the security policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines, how to use them, what are the difference between these four words, followed by risk identification, assessment, response, monitoring, and reporting. These are the core steps in the risk management process. So this is really at the core of this domain. And we will have the domain with BCP and BIA, which refers to business control planning and business impact assessment. To get grip on this domain, it is important that we understand the cyclic framework, what you see on your screen. What you see is that the assets, which is at the bottom of this framework, is the beginning point of this framework, so to say. Assets are anything which is of value to you or to the process or to the people in the business that you are engaging with. Assets are both tangible and intangible in nature. In domain 2, which is about asset security, we will cover quite a lot of depth about the assets. But while using your asset to get the value for the business or the organization that you are with, it entails risk. For example, running a warehouse, which entails risk of people getting injured in the warehouse. Maybe air conditioning is not working on a hot day, and things like that. To manage those risks, there has to be concrete security policies and principles manifested in form of control, and the controls have objective, and once the objectives are delivered, they need to be measured. In terms of operating an asset may have an inherent vulnerability in it. For example, on a very hot day, the air conditioning system of your office fails. For example, all of a sudden, you have a water leakage in one of the data centers that you are working in. These vulnerabilities may get exploited by external factors which are called threats. For example, the heat wave, which may happen on the same day when the air conditioning in the warehouse stops working, may impact the health of the people working in the warehouse adversely. The water leakage in the data center may damage the instrument, may damage the circuit, or the data that you have stored in the data center. So it is imperative that this framework is well understood. So please pay great attention to it. This is an introductory video, so I will stop here. Keep safe and happy learning. Thank you very much.